Hey, it's me, Swarls. I told you guys I would make a video about getting your save from 2020 into a new database for TEW 9. So let's do it. First thing you got to do is get your save to the first day of the month because the database has to start on the first of the month, right? So as you can see here in this TEW 2020 save for our AEW draft, it is Monday, week 1, March 2025. So you're going to want to come to the little options down here, and you want to do turn to database. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it here, but you're going to click turn to database. It'll ask you to give it a name. It'll default it to like the name of this save file dash like March 2025, which is probably fine. And then it'll take 30 seconds to like a minute, and it's going to create a new database. That is basically, a new game that you could start from exactly where you are in your save. Um, From there, you're actually going to want to go to TEW 9, and you're going to want to make a new database. So we're going to go here to the editor. We're going to create a blank database. You can call it whatever. I'm going to call it AEW Draft because I know what that means. And you're just going to create the database. Okay, from there, you're going to want to go to where you keep your files for TW 2020 and TW 9. So for DW 2020, for me, it is in C, Program Files x86, GDS, and then TW 2020. And for TW 9, it is in Documents, Graydog Software, TW 9. So they're in slightly different places. It might be different based on where you installed it, but I believe those are the defaults for most games. So in TW 2020, we're going to go into databases. We are going to go to the one we just made, AW Draft March 2025. We are going to copy this TW 2020 database. We're going to go to TW 9. We're going to go to databases. We are going to go to AW Draft, and we are just going to paste this bad boy in here. At this point, I do not know if you need to reboot TW 9, but I always do. So I'm going to exit it. Also, we could close TW 20 at this point, but I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to do TW here. Alright, so DW9 is back up. We are going to go into the database editor. We are in our new database, and then you're going to do convert TEW 2020 database. You're going to select AEW Draft, or whatever you called yours, and then you are going to hit convert. TW9 database already exists in this folder. Would you like to replace it with a freshly converted version? I always say yes. Also, this is a completely blank database, so you don't really need it. So I'm going to say yes. Then it's going to take a little bit of time here to convert all the data. Taking longer than I thought it would. But yeah, you're basically just waiting for the game to do its own thing here. Because what we're doing isn't really moving a save. We're making our save into a database and then starting a new game, right? So while this will carry over a lot of your stuff, you will be missing a couple things. It won't keep your match history and your show history, for example. But yeah, here you go. Process has been completed. Would you like to delete the unnecessary TW 2020 database now? Again, you could say no, but since we copy and pasted it, we have a copy of the one in case something happens. So I'm going to say yes, you can delete it. Process is complete, and you are now using the database. You will find the AW draft folder in the pictures folder. Yeah, and then for pictures, it's same as always. It makes a folder. You can drag them in there. So at this point, you're going to go back out here. You're going to start a new game. This is where things get fun, because it's going to check the database for errors, and it's going to find some. This is the really time-consuming part coming up, because so far it's been pretty easy. We are going to have to manually fix the errors it finds. Sometimes it'll give you pop-ups here about like it'll tell you a thing and it can kind of fix it on its own, but a lot of times you just got to go in there and do it. Oh, it's 16. That's actually not bad. I had like 40 in the WCW one. Um, so I'm gonna do a text version. So then what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to copy this. And then, oh, can I open this without showing the AEW notes? Oh, good, it's over here. Perfect. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to paste it into good old Notepad so that we can see what the errors are. So this is a bunch of errors that are causing the game not to load. Most of them are pretty straightforward, and we're going to fix them. I was going to do this all off camera, but 16 isn't that bad. So I think we're just going to do it. So for this, you kind of have to understand how the game works a little bit. So what we're going to do, so for example, this first one. Tag Team Records, the Second Gear Crew, and the Second Gear Crew Creative illegally have the same team name in the same company. So somewhere there are two Second Gear Crews for some reason. So actually, we need to go to tag teams or teams. So I think the created one was, I think the game made that one. I could be wrong about that. So I'm just going to delete that one. Actually, let me double check, but yeah, One Call Manders and Matthew Justice. It's Warner. It's Warner Matthew Justice. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it. And then you have some of these other ones. Let's see. Tomohiro Ishii has an exclusive and a non-exclusive contract. So the reason that happens is because guys sign exclusive contracts, but the game lets them work out their deal, right? So for a while, they have an exclusive contract, but they're also working other places. But then when you start a new database, it like doesn't understand that, right? So we're going to go into Ishii. We're going to double click him. We are going to look at his contracts. And he's got a New Japan and a Big Japan. I'm going to assume New Japan is exclusive, but we could double click it and see. Yeah, his New Japan is written. Oh, it's exclusive written. Okay. And then, yeah, his Big Japan is probably a handshake, right? Yeah, that's weird. I'm just going to delete his Big Japan contract. That's all we're going to do here. So these are the kind of the things you have to do to clean up the database. Some of these are going to be decisions. Some of these are going to be things that you might just have to delete or fix. Ninja Mac's another one. We signed him to a developmental deal in our save, so he has our exclusive written and then a bunch of others. Maybe I'm not going to do all of these because this is going to be a little time consuming, but I'll maybe just go through some of the other kinds. Oh, training facility Oz Academy Dojo is owned by a company that is not in business anymore. That's a good one. Also, save. Now that we deleted that, save. So we want to go training facilities, Oz Academy. Oz Academy is owned by... Oh, it's owned by Oz Academy. Okay. I'm assuming Oz Academy went out of business in our save. So this is another one where I'm probably just going to delete it because Oz Academy existing does not really matter to the greater scheme of our AEW series, right? So I'm just going to delete it. If you're more experienced with AEW databases, maybe you could come up with a better thing to do here. But, since the Oz Academy Dojo doesn't really matter for us, I'm just going to delete it. But yeah, I'm going to do the rest of these off screen, and then we'll come back when they're all done. Okay, I am back. I have fixed all of these errors. I had a lot of broadcasting errors for Raw and SmackDown about clashing deals. Some of them I fixed by realizing that these Canadian networks weren't set to exclusive for Canada, and then others I just deleted. They have like a million deals in Europe. Um, so we are now gonna see if I got everything and go try to start another new game. So there could be trial and error. We might do this and it might run into more, and then we'll have to fix those again. But let's see. New game. Checking the database for. Also, I should have mentioned, if you ever get warnings, you can ignore those. The game will, the game can run with warnings. You only have to fix the errors. So we're doing another error check. Someone, of course, had to send me a Discord message while I'm recording this. Oh, still 2 errors. See? Didn't get them all. SmackDown deal with the score clashes. I thought. Those were the 2 I changed to be in Canada only instead of just deleting them. So that means we're going to go delete them. SmackDown, the score, and WWE main event Sportsnet. Okay, we're going back to those. These are the things you got to do. You're going to run into this. I'm I'm glad I showed me failing. So we're going to go right back in here. We're going to go back to broadcasting deals. It was SmackDown on the score, which I'm just going to delete these. If it was AEW broadcasting deals, I might worry about it more. Also, like, if you mess up their WWE's broadcasting, the game will fix it within a couple days, so I wouldn't super worry about it. So we're going to delete the one with the score. And then the other one was WWE Main Event Sportsnet, right? Yes, just going to delete it. All right, here we go. This time for real. Also, the amount of errors, I had 40 for WCW, I had 16. You could have hundreds. If you do, sorry. But yeah, you're just going to have to go in and manually fix them like we've been doing. It's really the only way. Check is complete. No critical errors. Now you can begin your game. So to get back to your save. Oh. All right, we'll just call it AW Draft. Live. Okay, just AW Draft. Fine. Basically, you're just going to set back up the game you had, right? So we're going to play as the Panda controlling AEW. Start new game. Or in your case, you're going to pick the same player character that you were playing as, and you're going to pick the same company, right? I shouldn't assume everyone watching this is going to be familiar with what we've been booking. So we're now just doing normal new game stuff. One player game. Oh, you know what? It even seems to kind of default to doing that. So we're on Jay's the Giant Panda, of course. We're going to play as that character. We are going to play as All Elite Wrestling. We are, of course, the owner of All Elite Wrestling. We don't want to remove any AI-controlled companies. And there we go. That's our save. We don't have any pictures right now. And again, you could just do it normally. I'm just going to change where it's getting the pictures from. I'm going to go with the Real World Chronicles, the demo one, because those pictures should all work. Yep. And there we go. We are now in our save where it is March 1st, 2025. And as you can see, if you're familiar with what we've been booking over here on the AW brand split, these are our belts, right? That's the real international title. That's the thing I made. It carried it over. Also, it carried over the belt histories, which is cool, right? Like these are our champions. All of the stuff came over. There's Konosuke Takeshita as the AW champion. ABC, all the stuff is here. The one thing that doesn't seem to really come over is show history. That is all gone, which is kind of a bummer. And of course, match history will have gone with that as well. Um, Also, if you had anyone set to turn, I noticed that doesn't come over either. You'll have to set them to turn again. But even like storylines came over. Yeah, our storylines are all here. They're all, hot to very hot to cold. That all came over. Although again, you lose the history, but they're here. It brings them over. So this is this is how you get the save over. It's not like a direct way to bring the save over. You're really just starting a new game with like the database of your old save, so it's not like a 1-to-1, but it's pretty dang close. It's pretty dang close, and it's definitely a way you can keep a long running save going from 2020 to 9. I have not seen any problems in the WCW series so far, so now you get all the good features of 9 with your 2020 save. I hope this was helpful. I've recorded this in parts over a long period of time, so I don't. It seems like I've been doing this for a long time, but I think the YouTube video is going to be like 15-ish minutes. So hopefully this was clear and helpful, and I hope you get your save over. Thanks.